goes into Chantry, immediately bursts into flames. Yeah, that is exactly... yeah. No, going into the Chantry and immediately bursting into flames is for Dragon Age 2. Armor. Hello.
Are you here to see the Reverend Mother too?
Revered Mother, you read your line wrong.
You, miss, what is your name? You seem quite odd to me.
You would not be the first to think so. But avert your eyes. I will not have you staring over long.
Best get used to it. I'll be watching you. We want no trouble here.
Bitch. Not you, Morrigan. You are a
There will
bitch,
be
but
no
you're the
fighting in
bitch.
here.
Where's this fucking Templar about the fucking ashes then? Is it perhaps Sir Donal?
Who?
You.
I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donal? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks, the turn
Ilya
regained.
is so small.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
But if Arl Eamon is sick, why are you here?
Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness. But I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
Your friend Sir Henrik is dead. I have something of his.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
I drove off the bandits that killed him.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
I was hoping to meet Arl Eamon, in fact.
Why is that, if I may ask?
Oh, well, we need him. I would prefer not to say.
Whatever the reason, the Owl won't be seeing anyone until he's recovered.
I don't like the sound of that.
Tell me more about this Urn of Sacred Ashes. It feels important.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
Shut the fuck up. Perhaps I could help you?
Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
Well, at least he's a respectful human. At some point we'll go through and, like, read all the codex things, but I think we'll make, like, a stream out of it. 'Cause that's going to be a lot of interrupting if I read them all as I get them.
I'm sorry, I cannot talk now. I must feed the holy brazier to ensure the flame never dies.
What's the significance of the brazier?
It represents the flames that burned Andraste herself. Do you know the tale?
Unfortunately, yes. The fires cleansed her sins, something of the sort.
The prophet was burned in the ancient city of Minrathous, before the ancient mages she had fought. Instead of dying in pain as the mages wanted, she was purified by the fire and taken by the Maker into the heavens to stand forever at his side. We are all sinners. The fire symbolizes our hope that forgiveness is possible. Thus, we all serve by feeding its flames.
So if I sin, I should just set myself on fire.
Don't be ridiculous. It
I
is a
think I'm
symbol
finding
and
a
not meant
voice.
to be taken literally. Now go and leave me to my task.
And then shall the Maker
I think I'm
return
finding
to
a
us.
voice for little Ilya.
And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in
Finally.
heaven. And
Blah,
then
blah,
shall
blah,
the
blah,
chant
blah,
of
blah,
life
blah,
be
blah.
Help from
pure.
prophet they
Let all
burned, and
mankind
a
be
god who has
humble.
turned his back
Let
on them
all
not
repeat
once,
the chant
but
of
twice.
life.
You're right, and
Only
you
the
should
word
say it.
is
Hello, Mother.
Will you be making a donation to the Chantry, my friend? You look like you have salvaged more of value than most who make it here.
A tithe to the Chantry? Are you joking?
A great number of
Tithe
people could be
ticket?
fed and
Yeah.
clothed for a fraction of your finery. But you must do as your heart wills. What can I do for you then?
I want to talk about Sten, the canary you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
What did he do? In your words.
He butchered an entire farmhold. Only one of the youngest hid long enough to survive. The child said his father had found the canary gravely wounded and took him in. That kindness was repaid with murder. The bandsman found the canary just standing amidst the carnage. He did not resist them.
Are you certain he did it?
He confessed quite readily, but would give no reason for the crime. Even the seasoned knights who apprehended him were disturbed by the carnage. However docile he appears, do not be fooled. That canary is a danger.
What if this causes an incident with his people?
The Maker demands justice, regardless of his race.
I want him freed. I might have a use for him.
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
Well, I've come to return him to his people.
That seems highly unlikely. Do you have any sort of papers to corroborate your story?
I'm a Grey Warden in need of aid against the Darkspawn.
A Grey Warden? Oh dear, I will have to ask you to leave before you bring trouble on our heads.
Let me take the Kunari and fight the Darkspawn.
To defend against the Blight? Perhaps that is a form of atonement. But are you certain you can control him?
If you prefer, I could invoke the right of conscription.
No, I cannot. There will be too much trouble for us if we are seen cooperating with you.
What do you mean?
You have not heard. The Ten claims that the Grey Wardens are responsible for the King's death. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else...
I still want to talk about Sten. Will you not reconsider your stance?
I cannot. Grey Warden though you may be, please leave the Kunari to his fate.
But the Darkspawn are the real enemy here.
The Maker cares no less for that Kunari's victims than for the thousands who fell in Ostagar.
You see, I don't like the Chantry or humans very much, so, give me the key to his cage. Now.
Now we threaten priests. How fun!
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get out of hand here.
What is the meaning of this? You would threaten me with violence?
Your Reverence, please. We are on an important mission. Let us take the Kunari off your hands. I beg you.
I see. And if not, I am to be assaulted. Is this what we have come to?
No, Your Reverence. I will not allow that to happen.
Oh, won't
I have
you?
more important matters to concern me. Here, take the key to the creature's cage and begone. Do not return.
Okie dokie. Thank you for your cooperation. Hi, Stan. I hear you murdered like a whole family, but like I need you.
You wish something more of me?
Yeah, I have the key to open your
I
cage.
confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
Well, does it matter? You can be free.
Perhaps we have different ideas of freedom.
Absolutely, but, you can atone for your crime by assisting me.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
Very well.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
And if you annoy me and I decide to kill you?
You can try. May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Good answer. No, I'll keep us as we are for now. I'll catch up with everyone at the...
Someone help us!
I'll save you! Easy.
Mighty timely arrival there, my friend. I'm much obliged.
You're welcome.
The name's Bodon Feddick, merchant and entrepreneur. This here is my son, Sandal. Say hello, my boy.
Hello.
Road's been mighty dangerous these days. Mind if I ask what brings you out here? Perhaps we're going the same way.
I doubt you want to travel with the Grey Warden.
Grey Wardens? My, that does rather explain a lot. No offense, but I suspect there's more excitement on your path than my boy and I can handle. Allow me to bid you farewell and good fortune, though.
Goodbye.
Now then, let's get this mess cleaned up, shall we?
Wagon!
Bad dreams, huh?
Why are you bothering me? I'm fine.
It's just that you were shouting in your sleep, loud, and not in a good, this is private way either. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon, is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
I'm not frightened.
I screamed like a little girl. Duncan said he thought I had someone in my room. Not embarrassing at all. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Hi, Liliana. Let's talk. I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What would someone like you be doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
You just don't seem to belong in a cloister.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the Chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
Okay. Let's put a pin in that.
Why are we stopping?
I think we should talk for a moment.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
I need to know if I can trust you at my back.
I am Kunari. I have given my word to aid you. We are not people of idle promises.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of... The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
You said you were in the army.
I am.
Good. Have you ever fought in the war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
So you must know your way around a battlefield, then.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
Are you always this bad at answering questions?
Generally. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
Are you all right? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
Okay, good talk.
As you wish.
Right.
It's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service, once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Have you been following us?
I can see why you might be suspicious, being a Grey Warden and all. Were I in your shoes, I would feel the same way. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
You're free to stay, just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And
Yeah.
there you have it.
Hello, Liliana.
Did you always live in an alienage? Was it very terrible?
What a way to start a conversation. What do you think?
I have never been to the Denerim alienage, but I hear that life is hard and there is so much squalor. In Orlais, most elven servants live in the homes of their masters, often in great wealth and luxury.
And I bet some are treated cruelly, like dogs.
Yes, but some humans are treated cruelly too. It is not just elves. A well-trained elven servant is highly valued in Orlais. They are nimble and dexterous, and many people find them pleasing to look at.
Like a prize-winning animal.
No, I did not mean it that way. Oh, my words were clumsily
Please stop
chosen.
talking. Yeah.
I did not mean to offend. I am sorry.
I am Elven, but more than that, I am a person.
Of course. I am sorry if I implied otherwise. Thank you. You have given me a lot to think about.
Well, I'm glad you didn't make a thing of it. Hi.
What do you wish of me?
I would like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you, you come here up, did you grow up in the Kakari
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then while I jump for joy. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
I can just imagine.
I rather doubt that. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
I'm supposed to be surprised you're a good liar?
I do not know how well I lie, but I will do whatever I must in order to survive. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Autistic icon. I have no idea. I'm not human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Yet here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Do you want this?
A terrible notion.
No, I didn't think so.
Great. Super. Thanks.
You're welcome. Here.
I could get used to this, you know.
Yeah, you could.